Hey everyone, how's it going? Today we're going to be going over the CURT 4-bike rack here on our 2017 Ford Escape. So the CURT 4-bike rack is going to be an excellent option for you and the family. It actually allows us to carry up to 4 bikes. Now I wouldn't say this is a high-end bike rack, but it's not a low-end one either. It's going to be a great middle-of-the-road option. So the CURT 4-bike rack is going to be a hanging style rack. Hanging style racks usually consist of the vertical upright and our 2 horizontal arms here. We just simply lift our bikes up and place them on the 2 arms. Now there is another pretty common style of bike rack, and that's going to be a platform rack. So platform racks, I will say they're a little bit easier to load your bikes onto, but they're also heavier, so they're a little bit harder to manipulate, and it's obviously not going to be nearly as cost effective as these hanging style racks. So with our hanging style rack here, we're actually going to have 3 points of contact. So we have 2 at the top tube here, and then we have another one down here at the bottom. So not all the other bike racks have this little one here at the bottom. Basically what this is used for is sort of a nice feature. It's going to help keep our bikes that much more stable. It's going to keep them from swinging as much and bumping into one another or potentially the vehicle. So when we arrive at the trails, we're ready to take our bike off. It's pretty simple. We're simply going to pull these straps here. So while we're at it, these straps here, they're made of a nice durable rubber. As you can see, we have multiple sets of holes here, so we're going to be able to accommodate pretty much any different bike frame. But again, we have 3 of them, so we'll simply just pull down to release. Then once we get those all off, we're simply just going to lift our bike up and off. So if we take a closer look at the cradles once we get our bikes off, so that's something I do really like about this rack here. You can see these cradles are actually going to rotate. We have all different kinds of contours here. You can see this one's a lot deeper, or some of these is a little bit more shallow. So basically, we're just going to rotate these until we find the right one that matches the profile of the frame and our bike. So both of these sides we can rotate in order to get the best fit. Now you'll also notice we have these little grooves here. So these are going to do a great job of help securing our bike a little bit further. They're also going to help us if we have any brake lines underneath the frame that we need to channel in there as well. So in order to have enough room to carry 4 bikes, our arms need to be a pretty good size because we need to be able to space those apart evenly so we don't get too much issue with them banging into one another. But with the longer arms, we're going to be adding quite a bit to the overall length of our vehicle. And when you're driving at night, others on the road may not be able to see you have your bikes or your bike rack attached. Therefore, there's a potential for a collision there. However, with the CURT 4-bike rack, something they do that I don't really see a lot of other bike rack manufacturers doing, we have these little built-in reflectors on the end of the arms there. That's clearly going to indicate to others that we have an object on the back of our vehicle, and they need to account for that while they're making their stops. So speaking of length, let's go ahead now and let you know how much actual length we're adding to our vehicle with the arms extended. And this one from the edge of the bumper there, we're going to say 37.5 inches. So while we're not using our bike rack, we may not necessarily want to take it off the vehicle each time. That's perfectly fine. We can definitely do that. I would, however, recommend storing it in the stowed position, which is basically our arms just folded down, and they'll actually lock in place here. Sitting up against the upright, we'll simply pull that pin out, swing the arms down, and then we can actually reinstall this so we don't have to worry about it flopping around, causing damage. Simply insert your pin back through, then secure it with a clip. But once we have the arms folded down, we'll go ahead and give you another measurement here. So if you're going to be parking your vehicle inside a garage, this measurement here is going to be pretty useful for you guys. We're going to measure from the back edge of the hatch, and it's going to come out probably about 11 inches to the end of these little cradles here. So another nice feature, if we need to get in and out of the hatch, we don't have to remove the bike rack. We can simply tilt it towards the ground. This is super easy to do. We have a clip over here we'll pull out. That'll allow us to pull out our pin. And then we can come to the back side here. We're going to pull up on this handle. And the upright will tilt backwards. And we can get in and out of the hatch as needed without any interference. So keep in mind, this bike rack is designed specifically for 2-inch receiver tubes. Something else you'll like is that it actually has an anti-rattle hitch bolt included with. And basically what this does is it's going to pin the shank here to the inside of the receiver tube, and that's going to cut down greatly on rattle. If we go ahead and give our bike rack a good shake here, you can see with that anti-rattle bolt tight, we're actually going to be shaking our vehicle. So in summary, I really like this CURT 4-bike rack option. It's definitely one of the more economical options on the market. A solid choice for you and the family. We get some great features of some of the higher tier bike racks, such as the anti-rattle hitch bolt and the anti-sway straps. So either way you look at it, you're going to be happy with this bike rack here, and it's going to serve you well for time to come.
This is our test course. Let's start with the slalom. This shows side-to-side action, such as turning corners or evasive maneuvering. Then on to our alternating speed bumps. This shows twisting action, such as hitting curbs, potholes, road debris, or any even pavement. And last of all, the solid speed bumps. This shows up and down action, such as driving through a parking lot or parking garage, or driving in and out of a driveway.
And that's going to do it today for our look at the CURT 4-bike rack here on our 2017 Ford Escape.